PDP says it is at home with the exit of Gana and Tunde Adeniran. Unicef appeals to Aisha Buhari for support. FCT Minister pledges support for child education. This is the AM News on Television Nigerian. I am Anthony Momodu. A chieftain of the People's Democratic Party PDP, Ebenezer Babatope, says that the exit of Tunde Adeniran and Gana will not affect the party's strength in the forthcoming 2019 general elections. The former Minister of Transport explained that contrary to calls for the return of both men, the party has competent hands to pilot its affairs. It insists that both men have the democratic right to join the Social Democratic Party, adding that the PDP remains grateful for their contributions to aid. The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has appealed to the wife of the President, Aisha Buhari, to partner with it in promoting the rights and educational advancement of children in the country. The country representative of UNICEF, Mohamed Fall, made the appeal at a reception in honor of Aisha Buhari in Abuja. The event, which was jointly organized by the Center for Women Development and the Gana International Sports, featured the presentation of a Global Award of Excellence for Humanitarian Services to the wife of the President. In his remark, the UNICEF country representative said that the award was relevant considering the efforts of the First Lady in providing support to victims of insurgency in the country. He commended the First Lady's protection of the rights of women and children who suffer gender-based violence. On her part, the wife of the President pledged her commitment to continue to work towards eradicating all forms of abuse against women and children in the country. Mrs. Aisha Buhari, who was represented by the wife of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Gimbiya Buhari, called on stakeholders to join the campaign against child abuse. Meanwhile, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Musa Bello, says the FCT's administration has prioritized the rights of children to education. Speaking at an event to honor the wife of the President, Aisha Buhari, the minister disclosed that the administration of the capital city is providing necessary infrastructure to primary schools to boost child education. He also pointed out that the FCT administration would sustain the current support it gives the federal government in the provision of United Nations standard materials to ensure the attainment of a universal basic education in the city. The Delta State criminal justice system is undergoing reform. When implemented, the ongoing reform of the criminal justice in Delta State will aid speedy trial. The Chief Judge of Delta State, Marsha Omokoro, disclosed this at a stakeholders meeting on criminal justice reform. The meeting, which took place in Asaba, Delta State, also witnessed calls for qualitative justice delivery, efficient prosecution of crimes, and effective correctional facilities. The gathering of relevant stakeholders in the dispensation of justice is intended to foster interagency collaborations towards efficient justice delivery. Senator Abdullahi Adamu, representing Nasarawa West, has denied allegations that he is leading other senators in a conspiracy to unseat the President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki. Senator Abdullahi Adamu said this while reacting to reports linking him to an alleged plot to destabilize the leadership of the Senate. The lawmaker representing Nasarawa West Federal Constituency described the allegation as unfounded and baseless. A colleague, Senator Bina Ogba, had during plenary alleged that Senator Abdullahi Adamu had concluded arrangements with some civil society groups to stage massive protest against the President of the Senate. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, says it is optimistic that the conduct of the 2018 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination will be successful. The head media and information of the board, Fabian Benjamin, said this in an interview in Lagos recently. The board said It has put logistics in place to ensure the conduct of one of the best examinations in recent times. 1.6 million candidates, including 367 visually impaired candidates, will take part in the 2018 joint admission examination scheduled to hold March 17. When we return from the break, former President Obasanjo calls for unity against insecurity. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has called on leaders in the country to close ranks and work together in order to end farmer herdsmen crisis. Olusegun Obasanjo, who was speaking in Makurdi, said the continued violence and insurgency requires collaboration and an urgent attention. According to him, tackling the security challenges must begin from the root in order to secure a permanent solution. The former president regretted that investment and development cannot take place in an environment of chaos. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) has set July 2018 as the deadline for the implementation of the newly minimum wage. NLC President Ayuba Waba said that the Congress will reject any date beyond July. He explained that arrangements have been concluded to sign the agreement in Kigali, Rwanda. Ayuba Waba also accused the Minister of Trade and Investment, Okechukwu Enelama, of seeking to sign the African Continental Free Trade Agreement without consulting labor and other relevant stakeholders. Talking business, experts have warned that the introduction of 32% corporate tax would hurt the country's economy. Speaking at a book launch on Cracking the Code of Possibilities in Business, Chief Executive Officer of Quadline Project Limited, Goke Omediran, warned that small and medium-scale enterprises should not be neglected or discouraged. He explained that SMEs are strategic to economic growth of any country, adding that government must create an enabling business environment for them to thrive. The bulls yesterday upstaged the bears on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange as most blue-chip stocks recorded price appreciation, causing the market capitalization to rise to 50 billion naira. Also, the All Share Index, which measures the performance of quoted companies, increased by 137.85 points from above 42,000 to beyond 43,000. The performance signals a rise of more than 50 trillion naira. Experts say that the market repositioning will continue while profit-taking is expected to reduce on the strength of expected payouts and earnings. In entertainment, star actor on Desperate Housewives, Terry Hatcher, has denied reports that she is homeless and living out of her van. The 53-year-old actor told media that a report by a magazine describing her as homeless was completely untrue. The magazine had run a cover stating that Hatcher was broke, homeless, and living in her van, but the actor called the report absurd. She said that she is not broke and that she has done well investing her money. The celebrity is reportedly considering legal actions against the magazine. Actor and comedian Williams Uchemba has advised youth not to equate wealth to success. Williams Uchemba wrote on his social media page after fans wished to be like him following his recent purchase of a multi-million naira house in America. The comedian cum actor said true success is when one fulfills his purpose for being on earth. According to him, Nigerian youth should strive for true success and not for wealth, adding that youth should shun the temptation of acquiring quick money. In sports, Chelsea manager Antonio Conte believes that midfielder N'Golo Kante has trained all week and is showing no ill effect after passing out briefly in the dressing room last week. The French midfielder missed Sunday's match against Premier League leaders Manchester City after the incident which shocked teammates. Antonio Conte said he had the option of playing Oliver Giroud or Alvaro Morata up front against struggling Crystal Palace. Mohamed Salah has picked up the Premier League's Player of the Month award for the second time this season after maintaining his sensational scoring form on 2-month spree. The Egypt international, who has also claimed the honor in November 2017, found the net 4 times in 3 fixtures last month, as he also provided 2 assists. Salah bagged a brace in his side's 2-2 draw with Tottenham at the start of February and followed up with further strikes in wins over Southampton and West Ham. His scoring exploits have helped Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool tighten their grip on the top 4 spot as they look to qualify for the Champions League for the 2nd straight season. On the foreign scene, the United States Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, who is on a state visit to some African countries, have cancelled his program to Nairobi, Kenya. A statement from the State Department said that the U.S. top diplomat could not continue the visit because he was feeling unwell after days working on major issues back home. The statement announced by the Undersecretary of the State, Stephen Goldstein, attributed the ill health of Rex Tillerson to workloads involving issues on North Korea. The top United States diplomat was scheduled to visit the AIDS Relief Program, PEPFAR, in Nairobi, Kenya, as well as attend ceremony marking 20 years since Al-Qaeda bombed the U.S. embassies in Kenya and Tanzania, killing more than 200 people. He was due to travel to Chad thereafter and then to Abuja in Nigeria. To end the news bulletin, the major stories. PDP says it is at home with the exit of Gana and Tunde Adeniran. Unicef appeals to Aisha Buhari for support. FCT minister pledges support for child education. Former President Obasanjo calls for unity against insecurity. That's the news on Television Nigerian at this hour. I leave you with this thought. Respect everyone's boundary and treat others as you will have them treat you. Thanks for staying with us. I am Anthony Momodu. Have a happy weekend.